Hi, I'm Lachie and I'm in Year 5.
I'm Lyla and I'm also in Year 5.
So my first question is, what is one thing you learned today that you think is important?
I learned a lot more about synodality, a lot of stuff I didn't know, especially about the Ecumenical Council, and I think that's important to help me grow in what I learn in religion.
I really like what you're saying about how it helps you learn something deeper about religion. Can you tell me about how that then applies to your everyday life? You know, what does synodality mean for you now that you've learned it for your everyday life?
It helps just us work together and follow in Jesus and do lots of good stuff in our everyday life when working with others and doing stuff for our world.
There was one word that came up today that I think is important for synodality, and that's listen. What does that look like in maybe an example from your work in Fiat, and then maybe you can give one in the school setting?
Well, that really helps, because you got to listen to the people who have less and they might need help.
You just got to listen to what you need to do for other people to help them be more as valued as you.
Beautiful. Thank you both for sharing your thoughts today on synodality. But I wanted to learn a little bit about your work here, particularly around synodality and your teaching of your students on the topic of synodality. Why has it been important for you as a teacher to be able to teach that?
It's really special because Our Lady of Lourdes is such a diverse community. We've got a lot of different faith backgrounds within Catholicism. And I think it's great to hear the voice and the voice of the community. Currently, our context is that we are, I think, about 85% Catholic. And I think through that strength of faith, we all want to journey together. And I think that's really important.
One of the things that I was really struck by was the curiosity in your students to really kind of ask questions and then respond with such a depth. How have you been able to translate a huge concept like synodality into something that makes sense to them?
It was interesting beginning with the role of learning from history, which is what their driving question is for their learning, and looking at how that happens in our day-to-day lives. We then linked it to the role of councils over history and the impact that they've had on the Catholic Church. And then now it's really special linking it to home and having it in Parramatta, that we're able to look at a synod, look at how people from our parish and the surrounding parishes went to have a voice, to be heard, and then to discern and now putting things into place. It's been awesome because our children really discern, and I think it's special for them to take that time to process and that time to think before they respond. And I think we can really gather a lot deeper and in-depth knowledge from that.
There were a couple of things that they were alluding to that I wasn't able to kind of get into the specifics about. It was really nutting down to the practical kind of shift in them, or how's it impacted them. Do you have a story that you could share about how the learning of synodality, of listening, discerning, and responding is seen in, say, the classroom setting or even beyond the classroom?
It's really interesting with our newly formed Faith in Action team and how our students have put their faith into action, and that's come through their ability to journey together. So they've joined together. We've just had our St. Vincent de Paul Winter Appeal, and that's been a huge success because our students rallied together to really support those in our community who are on the margins. And I think through that and developing those practices within our community and putting it in a way that's practical for the children has been great. It's special that we're able to journey together. And I love the connection to the journey to Emmaus, because that is togetherness with Jesus present as well.